Welcome back into the Sean podcast. I myself be that big Ush man. Over here is that dude, that mythical figure, that supernova. It's the Cat Daddy. Don't blink or you might miss him. Cat Daddy. What's on your mind?
We just finished week 11 of the college football season, and as much as we've seen some inconsistencies throughout the season, I thought this week gave us pretty consistent results.
I don't know if it gave us cool stability, but let's get right into it. So we're going to start with North Carolina versus Pitt. I'm going to be honest, at the beginning of this game, I thought this was going to be a runaway train. But then, all of a sudden, Sam Howell woke up. And both these quarterbacks showed up. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. And this is not biased talking at all. I think Sam Howell taught us more about who he is than Kenny Pickett did who he was. Sean, your thoughts?
Tough loss for Sam Howell, who continues to do a lot of positive things, but the talent surrounding him is really limiting his prospects. Wide receiver, Josh Downs.
And who?
Who else, right? The defense knows that Howell will try to get Downs the ball because on the season, Downs has been targeted on nearly 60% of the pass attempts.
At the same time, I think Sam Howell has proven that he can get the job done. I think he does more with less than most quarterbacks have done in college football.
He is. The offensive line doesn't do him any favors. The offensive line puts him in a position to play Superman because at least this game against Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh played really good defense. They were harassing all day long.
They tried.
They did a good job of limiting Sam Howell in the running game, at least on the design runs. But that North Carolina offensive line was allowing pressures on nearly every other play.
Yes, they did. And guess who still was making plays?
Sam Howell.
It's amazing. I'm telling you right now. I'm sorry, but I know a lot of people have a different opinion here. But I think Sam Howell is improving his draft stock by having less than more. You might disagree, but I think he is.
Well, I expected the regression from Sam Howell this season because of the talent that North Carolina had lost to the NFL. So not a surprise for me. But
I don't think it's a regression.
But no. Statistically, there's the regression. He's not putting up statistically as good numbers as he was doing last year. But I'm agreeing with you in the sense that when you look beyond the numbers, when you look at Sam Howell as the player, what he's doing on the field, not just completions, yardage, touchdowns, but watching him go through his process and through his motions, it's not like he's doing anything wrong. He's doing all the right things. He should have positive reviews from scouts. When it comes draft time, he should be a first-round draft pick. Should be. It's just he doesn't have as much buzz because the talent isn't there to kind of help him get that push.
I'm going to go forward and say top 15. That's my thoughts.
Well, you know how I feel about quarterbacks being drafted anyway.
Now, on the other side, I know we're spending a lot of time here. Kenny Pickett. I'm being honest with you. May I be honest? I don't know if he's anything more than a college quarterback. I mean, you tell me. Is this because people are talking? Did you hear what Todd McShay said?
No.
I know I just name dropped.
You sure did.
During the North Carolina game, Todd McShay said Kenny Pickett put himself in position to be the number one quarterback taken off the board. What is he seeing that I am not?
I can see Kenny Pickett being in the first round conversation. I can see a team taking advantage of the fifth-year option and drafting him at the end of the first round. I can see that.
I'm with you there. I'm with you there.
But I can't see Kenny Pickett as the number one quarterback off the board come draft day. I don't see that.
But this is a major scout talking this. What are we doing here?
What are we doing, or what is he doing? He's got some sort of agenda he's pushing. He's got to push the name out because someone wants to push him the name.
I don't understand it.
Well, that's because he gets paid a lot of money to do it, and we don't. So we say what we see.
Can we get paid that money? I'll say whatever they want.
I'll take a fraction of it. Come on. Come on.
Yeah, give me a fraction. And I'll tell you that Bo Nix is the second coming of Peyton Manning.
Jack Cohen is the best quarterback prospect. Yeah.
Woo! Anyways, we're going to move on.
It's probably best. Yeah.
We both agree that Sam Howell is a better NFL prospect than Kenny Pickett.
Yes.
All right. So, next up, Purdue traveled to the Horseshoe, trying to continue their reign, taking down top 5 Big Ten opponents. Mm-hmm. It didn't happen this time, did it?
Nope. Ohio State was prepared. They saw the previous couple of weeks. There were no Purdue spoiler makers at the Horseshoe. Purdue's defense was no match for the Ohio State offense because that thing was firing on all cylinders. I mean, even after the game, Purdue head coach Jeff Brom said, "We were lucky to hold them to 59."
Now, that being said, my guy still got his, didn't he?
Sure did. What was it 3 receptions, 1 touchdown run? Was that what it was?
Something like that.
Something like that.
David Bell, still showing he's one of the best receivers in the nation. Yes, he doesn't have something that sets him apart from everyone else. He's just freaking good.
He is.
Now, moving on from this game. Michigan had a close one against Penn State. Any thoughts here? Does this make does this make Michigan a little vulnerable?
Oh, the way you phrase that question is like, is this something new that makes Michigan vulnerable? Michigan's been vulnerable the entire season. It's just that strong running game and that strong defense has been able to hide the flaws, which is the passing game. And this weekend was a huge victory for Michigan because it was on the road, Happy Valley, and it helps keep their hopes at the Big Ten championship game alive. But what this was, a defensive battle. Both quarterbacks were under pressure the entire game. Sean Clifford a little bit more often than Cade McNamara. Penn State gave up 3 sacks on the opening drive. Sean Clifford absorbed 7 altogether.
I mean, 10 seconds into the game, our guy Aiden Hutchinson has sacked. So,
yeah, I think Hutchinson and
it is what it is.
David Ajabo had a combined 5 sacks between them.
Who's also eligible.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough one because I could see him making a jump, but then part of me is like, he should probably stay for one more season.
No. He needs to go. You know who he makes me think of?
Who's that?
Odafe Owe.
Okay. We'll see the freaky athletic test he puts up at the combine. We'll see.
He looks freaky, doesn't he? All right, next up is the game both me and you have been waiting for all year long. The Oklahoma Sooners go in to Texas.
Waco. Yes.
Face those Baylor Bears. And guess what? Finally, they get taken down. And there's more to this than just a loss. Sean, you go ahead because I'm going to come with some fire afterwards.
Okay. Give me a couple minutes to get through mine then. So, first notes are going to be Oklahoma does not look ready for SEC football. They may
fire is going to actually be pertaining to that.
They may be able to play for the Big 12 championship, but their CFP, their college football playoff chances, are out the window. Oklahoma was thoroughly handled on both sides of the ball against the Baylor Bears. Oklahoma has played inconsistent on both sides of the ball for most of the year. Now, fortunately for them, early in the season when they had the offensive struggles, the defense was there to pick up that slack, help secure victories. As the season progressed, the defense started playing not quite as well, but the offense got the spark from Caleb Williams. The offense was able to support the defense by putting up more points on the board. This week, neither side of the ball was playing very well at all. Offensively, the Sooners got to the point where Caleb Williams was taken out of the game in favor of Spencer Rattler, only for Rattler to kill 2 consecutive drives by taking a sack on 3rd down. Then Lincoln Riley goes back to Caleb Williams to finish off the game. Now there's talk that Caleb Williams may have hurt his hand and that's why Spencer Rattler went in. I don't know. I also heard that Rattler was battling the flu during Saturday's game. Not just Baylor's defense.
Don't care.
But I think maybe the moments and the magnitude of the game of the season got to Caleb Williams. He was making freshman mistakes out there. He's a freshman. He's a true freshman. It's a big stage he was on.
Maybe Baylor's just that good this year.
I don't think that Caleb Williams was ready for that moment. And yes, I think Baylor is a sneaky good team.
Do you want to hear the other part?
What's that?
Apparently there's rumblings in Oklahoma that Lincoln Riley might not be long for Oklahoma.
Ooh, are we talking another college job?
Yes.
NFL. Ooh. There's a lot of college openings.
Take a guess which one.
Oh, man. It would have to be a high-profile one. So I'm going to guess either
big-time program.
LSU or USC.
Not USC.
LSU?
Yes. There are rumblings that Lincoln Riley could be set to leave Oklahoma for LSU.
Does Spencer Rattler follow, and does Lincoln Riley accept?
No. All right, next up, we have a matchup near and dear to Sean's heart. Texas A&M goes into Ole Miss. Gets a beat down by Sean's QB1, who I didn't think played particularly well, but didn't matter.
Now, this game, Matt Corral played
okay.
I'm going to say he played, excuse me, he played mediocre, But that's what Ole Miss needed him to do. This was one of those games where he just had to play game manager.
Yes.
Move the offense, make mistakes. Ole Miss took the ground and pound approach. We're going to run the ball. We're going to run the ball most of the game. We're going to play with solid defense.
Now, at the same time, I'm going to let you know this. Can we give some props to Lane Kiffin? I know people like to hate on Lane Kiffin, but what was Ole Miss before Lane Kiffin got there? Ole Miss was either a laughing stock or that movie that college that was in that movie with Michael Orr. Other than that, what was Ole Miss? I'm gonna be honest with you.
Hey, they produced Eli Manning.
Yeah, like what?
20 years ago.
Over 15 freaking years ago. I'm just saying, who was their last legit prospect? What you gonna say? What's his name on the Jets? He still ain't done nothing yet. Was it Elijah Moore? Again, a product of Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, DK Metcalf.
True. And
AJ Brown. Yeah.
And Dawson Knox. My bad.
But who do they have throwing the ball to him? I think was like Shea Patterson or no?
It was Shea Patterson, and then it was I forgot his freaking name. That dude was bad.
Yeah, I mean, either way, it was bad. Now, the best thing to happen to Matt Corral is Lane Kiffin.
No, I'm just saying, Lane Kiffin coming to Ole Miss. Elijah Moore wasn't something until Lane Kiffin put his offense on there.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying Lane Kiffin took them from a team that was pretty good at offense, but, couldn't win, to a team. They're 8-2 this year, and they play in the SEC.
Yeah, they're going for a 10-win season. Yeah.
That ain't nothing to sneeze at.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, they didn't beat Bama, but how many teams beat Bama?
Besides Texas A&M, not many.
But you get what I'm saying. Next up, we had one of the marquee matchups of the week. NC State versus Wake Forest. It didn't disappoint. But like I said, unlike what Sean said, I'm pretty sure I picked Wake and you picked NC State.
I thought I picked Wake. I'll have to go back.
I picked Wake. I know I picked Wake.
I want to see if I can find my notes.
But Wake wins 45-42.
No, I picked Wake Forest for this one too.
All right.
I did.
It's the next one that I get the walk on all of your parade.
Maybe. We'll see. This wasn't a.
Oh no, the next one I know.
Okay. So this game was not a pretty game, not a pretty win for Wake Forest, but
does not matter.
We're in November. You can't
win is win.
You can't expect pretty wins in November. Too close to the end of the season. And now, with one more win, Wake Forest will secure their spot in the ACC championship game.
Ugly. If you can win ugly, you can win anyway. Pretty is not how football is played.
Still shows up in the win column.
Now, next game. Mississippi State goes down to Alabama to face Auburn. I remember somebody backing Bo Nix in this mug.
Do you know why? Because he kept proving me wrong.
And somebody else said Mississippi State was going to take this. What happened?
Man. What happened was Mike Leach's offense, because at one point, Mississippi State was trailing 28-3 at Jordan Hare. And what a comeback. Mike Leach's offense comes through. Will Rogers, their quarterback, was just epic in this game, throwing 44 of 55, 415 yards, 6 touchdowns. I mean, Auburn fell apart on defense really early on in this game, which allowed the Bulldogs to get back in. And sadly, one of the few times I back Bo Nix, not only does he and the Auburn Tigers disappoint and lose, but he suffered an ankle injury, and he is probably going to miss the rest of the regular season.
Fault.
Ooh, all right. Auburn fans, the Cat Daddy. You can find me on Instagram or Twitter, the Cat Daddy. For all of you, for all of the emotions you feel about losing Bo Nix for the rest of the regular season.
And I'm going to counter with this. Hey, Auburn fans, blame your freaking coaching staff. Because if they would have started Malik Willis, your quarterback would be lighting the freaking world on fire. Just saying, not saying, and not sorry. And that's at Ush Elliott. Get at me. See, I took the heat off you. All right, next up, we got San Diego State just edging out Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
Why is this one so close?
Man, because these Mountain West games, the ones that the rest of the world doesn't get to see because of the time zone differences, they're actually really good games. Carson Strong, Romeo Dubs, they put on a show for Nevada, only to lose by a late field goal by San Diego State. Man, y'all need to start recording these games and watching these games. San Diego State's a good team, but you know what? Nobody on the playoff committee is awake to watch these games.
Now, my other question is this. The last game from last week we're going to talk about. Arkansas. What happened to your offense? Because LSU has been letting teams put up numbers. But this game was 16-13. I know Arkansas won, but I don't feel good about it.
Mm-mm. There shouldn't be any confidence about this game. Arkansas shouldn't have any confidence heading into this Alabama game. None.
All right. Previewing the next week's games. Now, you know I like to jump around. House of Pain style. Not crisscross style. House of Pain style. If you know, you know. If you don't, you're too young to actually be thinking about what I'm saying. Now, the first game I'm going to talk about. Wake facing Clemson. Who we got in this? Any thoughts?
As much as I like Wake Forest, I am, for some reason that's still unknown to me, I'm picking Clemson for this one.
I'm going Wake.
Clemson still has one of the better defenses in the country. It's just the offense that seems to be a little bit of a problem. They're playing in Death Valley. There's ACC title shot on the line here. I'm going Clemson.
I get that, but I've watched some of the Wake games.
Mm-hmm. They're good.
There's only one Wake game where I saw the defense struggle. And it was a game where a quarterback put his whole team on his back. I don't know if DJ can do that. You know which game that was I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Which one?
UNC. Sam Howell.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only loss they got to UNC. And Sam Howell put his whole team on his back. Sam Howell was playing out of his mind. Josh Downs in that game made this ridiculous catch where he made this baseball style layout for a catch. And the ball didn't move. He trapped it right here while laid out horizontally. hit the ground and the ball didn't move. And that still came down to the wire. But North Carolina pulled that out because Sam Howell put his team on his back and held his team high. Sam Howell, I think, had like over 80 rushing yards and like over 300 yards in that game. Gross. Do you really think the Clemson quarterback is going to be able to do that? You think DJ's going to do that without John Ross in the season? John Ross in the game.
I got Clemson winning, but I don't feel very good about it. I'm just gonna put
I bet you don't. Next up, can Iowa State upset Oklahoma?
Would it really be an upset? Would it? Let's be. I mean, neither of us have thought really high about Oklahoma this season. And Oklahoma was only as high as they were in the ratings and rankings just because of their preseason ranking. Does Iowa...
Because of what people think of Oklahoma.
Exactly. Does Iowa State have a shot? Yes. Do I think they actually walk away with the victory?
No.
No, it's at Oklahoma.
And Oklahoma's coming off a loss.
I'm for some reason going to pick Oklahoma.
All right, next up is the matchup Sean's been waiting for all year. SMU going to face Cincinnati Bearcats. Sean, who you got? You know this is the one you've been waiting for. You know it.
I know. I want the upset. I want the discussion to end about a group of 5 team breaking into the top 4 of the CFP rankings. I want there to be an upset. Unfortunately,
Reggie Robinson?
Unfortunately, both of SMU's losses have come on the road this season, and this game is being played in Cincinnati. So when I'm going for SMU, it's really against like literally all the odds.
And lately, Desmond Ritter's been playing some really good football.
I'm hoping for an upset, but I will not be surprised if and when I'm wrong.
All right, next up, another potential upset. Another championship game on the line. Virginia travels to Pitt. You got this upset happening. Pitt got scared by them UNC Tar Heels. What do you think?
No, I think Pittsburgh's got this. I don't think that Virginia's quarterback, Brennan Armstrong, will be playing in this game. I think he's still injured. I think that's going to give Pittsburgh all the advantage that they need. Kenny Pickett is having himself a good season. It's good for him.
He didn't do as well against them Tar Heels.
He didn't. But in general, returning to school for his senior season was a really smart decision for him because it helped his draft stock to either first round or early second rounds. It helped him.
I do think he's a second round pick.
He's a Heisman.
I don't know if he's
dark horse contender. I mean, could he sneak into the first rounds? It wouldn't surprise me to see that, but I got Pittsburgh winning this and heading on to the ACC championship game.
All right, next up, we got the Baylor Bears traveling to Kansas to see them Kansas State Wildcats. Who you got?
Baylor just pulled the upset on Oklahoma. I think Baylor continues a hot streak, even going to Kansas State.
All right, I agree. I think I like Baylor this year. That's just me. All right, next up we got Oregon, number 3 Oregon, traveling to Salt Lake City to face them Utah Utes. We got 2 Utes. Who you got?
Oregon's number 3. Utah, I think, is number 24. They're in the top 25, but
23.
closer to the end. But these two teams...
Utah is favored.
It's at Utah, so I think they have a 3-point spread, which really means they're the home team.
Oregon's so. Number 3.
I know, but for me, these two teams are very similar and evenly matched. And as much as I love my Ducks, go Ducks, I think that the Utah defense is going to give them too much of a challenge to overcome. So for this one, I have Utah.
All right, next up, we got the 2 big matchups of the week. First of all, we got, let me see, hold on. Arkansas traveling to Bama. That is not a good sign. Traveling to Tuscaloosa. Face them Alabama Crimson Tide. Who you got, Sean? Let's make it short and sweet.
Alabama has got their SEC title hopes on the line in this game.
They ain't getting no SEC title. Get the fuck out of here.
The title game, right, to get to the game to play Georgia is on the line. So
and Georgia's going to whoop them. So
I know, but if they get to the title game, then they have a shot to stay in the top 4 when it comes to the college football playoff.
They're going to get bounced out by Georgia. Let's be honest.
They're getting bounced both
they're going to beat Arkansas.
Yes.
They will beat Arkansas. We both agree.
Too much on the line.
Not by 21 points. That's the spread. But they'll beat them.
They'll beat them, that's for sure.
Next up, we got the big matchup of the week. Michigan State travels to the Horseshoe. They're going to the Horseshoe to face Ohio State. No, thank you.
You're not taking that was like 19-point spread.
I'm going to say this. Michigan State, in my opinion, is a shaky team at best. You going on the road to Ohio State, to Columbus, to the Horseshoe in a hostile environment with a running game and no passing game. And you expect me to believe you're going to win. No, thank you.
There's a lot on the line with this, not only when it comes to the conference and the conference championship game, but also who could be a Heisman contender. Because on one side of the ball, you have Kenneth Walker III, who, as you were saying, is the Michigan State offense. And a big game here could do wonders for a Heisman push.
It can.
But it's almost like Michigan State's a little bit too one-dimensional when it comes to running the ball. On the other side of the ball, you have another Heisman contender with C.J. Stroud.
Only one?
Only one they should be pushing.
You have 2.
Should be pushing. Should.
You have 2.
Should. The key word is should. Trayvon Henderson's not ready for it yet.
You got 2.
I know they have multiple people there, and they're going to end up hurting each other if they push both people. That's why they need to push one of them. Is going to be C.J. Stroud. So, C.J. Stroud needs his Heisman moment game, and what better time than against a number 7 ranked team coming into your home? And for the game overall, this is where Michigan State's Cinderella season ends.
Here's my big thing. I'm going to be honest with you. I actually don't care about the game itself. No offense to Michigan State fans. Ohio State going to smash you. My question is this. Which Ohio State wide receiver distances himself from the other? Last week against Purdue, it was Garrett Wilson. Let's be honest. Both of you and agree. Chris Olave has been the better Ohio State receiver. Even though coming into this year, everybody said Garrett Wilson's the more talented one. Well, after last week, Garrett Wilson showed he's the more talented one. Now, Chris Olave had his due. And he showed he's really good. But who's better? Let's ask that question, because that's the question that this game is going to come down to, in my opinion. I don't think Kenneth Walker is going to take it over. I think it's going to come down to which wide receiver is better. John,
it's gonna be fun to watch. I like personally.
Or do you think the tight end is going to take over?
But all two passes they throw to Jeremy Ruckert? Yeah, okay.
No. Let's be honest. Be honest as an evaluator.
Mm-hmm.
Both me and you believe if they focus on Jeremy Ruckert, he'd be in first round, maybe top 20 tight end. Do you disagree?
First round, I say he would definitely be a first round pick.
You don't think top 20?
I think he might be in that 20 range or near the top 20. I can't say for certain.
But that's all I'm asking. I'm not saying top 15. I'm saying top 20.
He'll be near top 20. I'll give you that.
If they focus, but they don't. So he's probably going to be near the end of the second round.
Which is great for some team that picks him up.
Because it's a freaking steal. Because you know who I see?
Who's that?
Who's my guy?
Dalton Schultz.
No, come on now.
George Kittle.
I like Dalton Schultz. I really do, but Dalton Schultz is a poor man's George Kittle. Jeremy Ruckert is George Kittle. You disagree? That blocking ability, the potential in the receiving game.
Potential, yes. The blocking is
when he's gotten the ball, he showed it. And his blocking, he showed all year.
Well, maybe Ryan Dale put in a new offensive game plan for this weekend.
Even though, let's be honest, the refs BS on that George Karlaftis block. He did not hold him, and you know that's truth. Even though Karlaftis is your guy, be honest. I'm waiting. By the way, people, if Sean has silence, that means I'm right.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all the games for this week. For college, Sean. Any words of wisdom for these college peoples?
Yes, low words of wisdom. Watch what you eat. I think there was a study from the University of Michigan that calculated eating one hot dog can take off 36 minutes of your life expectancy.
Jesus Christ.
Stop and think. How many hot dogs have you consumed? How much time has that taken off your life?
That makes me think about that Asian dude who be eating them hot dogs at them hot dog competitions. Good Lord.
Yeah. I mean, that's like 50 years he's knocked off already.
At the same time, at the last pod, I said live life to the fullest because life is short. So if you like hot dogs, you do hot dogs. My question is this. Is it just hot dogs? Are we talking brats? Are we talking Polish sausages?
I believe it's just hot dogs.
Oh, so I can switch up to just to Polish sausages and I'm okay?
I'm not sure if that would be better or worse, but you do you.
Hey, I always do me. You know me. Anyways, college kids. This is a real one. Drink responsibly. No. I'm not just going to say the words. I'm saying how it goes. Always have a drink, buddy. Because you never know what could happen. I've had friends that I've had to save from potential bad situations. 2, never drive drunk. always get Uber or always have a DD. One of those two. It's always available. And trust me, the cost, emotionally, physically, mentally, and in your pocketbook is far surpass what could happen. And 3, try to have somebody available to hold accountability for you, because you don't want a situation because you don't know what happened.